Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So first off, today is rollover and we are switching from the ES June contract to the ES September contract, and all the zones for today are for the ES September contract. So in the overnight session, we saw that the balance that developed yesterday afternoon actually held overnight, and we even made a marginal high. So at this point, heading into the open, buyers are in immediate control, and now even on the larger time frames, the buy side is at the moment more dominant and in control, and is set to test the 2103.75 to 2105.75 initial resistance zone. Now, as the market heads up there, even though responsive sellers can be active at the zone, we have to keep in mind that the buyers are more dominant and the upside does not have to stop at the 0375 to 0575. And for sellers to step in, I think the better spot is going to be up near the 10 quarter to 12 quarter zone, or the open gap at 08 quarter. And in the event of a strong upside move, the buying can shut off by 1475 to 1675. On the downside, 95 to 97 quarter marks the overnight balance as well as the balance from yesterday, and holding above it just tells us that the buy side is in firm control, but a break below that area does not necessarily shift our bias. So a break below 95 on the smaller time frames could lead to a move into the 90 half to 92 area, and possibly 85 quarter to 87.75. But the idea is that at this point, after yesterday's strong move, we can expect responsive buyers to be active on any pullbacks into support. So even if we break 95, we can still find buyers at 90 half to 92 and 85 quarter to 87.75. Now, we don't really want to see a very deep retracement after yesterday's strong upside movement. If the market actually is quite bullish at this point, then we should not get a big retracement. And for that reason, if early in the morning, even if we do pull back, ideally we actually hold above 90 half to 92, or worst case scenario, 85 quarter to 87.75. And at the same time, we don't really want that pullback to be happening on extremely weak internals. Now, as we pull back, if we pull back, the AD will be negative, but we just don't want to see extreme weakness on the advanced decline and sustained momentum on the downside. Then we'll have to adjust and be a bit more cautious on buying those pullbacks. But as long as it's a very normal pullback on, like a minus 500 or minus 1000 AD, and, tick is fairly balanced, the other markets are holding up relatively well, then the idea is to look for buyers to be active on any kind of pullback into support, and then target a move back up towards yesterday's high and 0375 to 0575. So that initial resistance zone on the upside is the very high odds short-term objective, and one that the market can tag quite easily. And then the extended target is a move up to 08 quarter and 10 quarter to 12 quarter. Now, that 10 quarter to 12 quarter is an area where sellers can be active. That puts us back up towards the top of the range that we sold off from. And then 1475 to 1675 is pretty decent resistance as well. Now, today being rollover, we know that volume is shifting from the June contract to the September contract, and overall, rollover day can be a bit more choppy, and at least in the short term, there can be just some more sideways movement and just kind of overall, choppiness in the character of price action. So just keep that in mind, and to handle that, just rely on being a little bit more conservative in your entries, and just being overall a little bit more cautious and aware of rollover day. It's not like it really changes the direction of the market, it just affects the character of short-term price action. And as long as you're aware of it, it's not a big deal. But just another reason to be a little bit more careful. So those are really the primary trade ideas on the day, the main thoughts heading into the open. We'll keep an eye on 95 to 97 quarter. As long as that zone's holding, the buy side is in firm control. But again, even if we break, it doesn't really shift our bias. Holding above 85 quarter to 87.75 would still leave the buyers in pretty decent control. And that's really the final spot where buyers should be active given yesterday's upside move. And again, we don't want to see really a deep retracement, and we may not get any retracement. But the idea is after the market opens, if we start failing above yesterday's high, then it could set up a retracement type move. And as long as it's not a deep retracement and it's only down towards 90 half, 92, or worst case 85 quarter, 87.75, then the buy side and the overall bullish structure would still remain intact. So those are our main thoughts. Let's see if the buyers can maintain control off the open, and we'll take it from there.